can't tell y'all. You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it, every day I'm balling. Who's the coach, who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it, y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffin or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me, Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man, we just the best to be. Can we have our SB please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Justin Emery right here. No Marcus Bradham, so I got my man Mike Jokum again co-hosting with me. My guy, how you doing tonight?
I'm loving life, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. One thing I forgot to get to yesterday when I was running down the facts is that yesterday was actually the anniversary of Veterans Stadium being knocked down.
R.I.P.
Yes. I remember watching it on TV, and I believe you could actually hear it. Like if you just like were listening for like the thuds, but
what year was that again?
2003, I think.
Wow, was it really that long ago?
Yeah, I mean the Lincoln Financial Field opened in 2003, so maybe 2002. Let me pull up. Let me get the date, or the year, because I know it was like I said, it was yesterday, March 22nd.
Explosion was 2004. So, yeah.
2004, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, growing up out in Bucks County, I was a little too far to hear it, but I do remember seeing it on TV.
Yeah, I remember. I also feel like it took forever. I feel like it just took forever to collapse. I'm not sure if, it was any more or less dynamite used than other stadium demolitions. But just watching it, I was like, all right, this thing's taking a hot minute to fall.
Yeah, I see the video here is like 3 minutes long, so I'm not going to click it because it's going to obviously play background noise that we don't need. But 3 minutes long for a short demo video seems like too long. Like that should come down to like 45 seconds. Then again, I am not a demolitions expert, so maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, I'm not a demolitions expert either, though maybe I should be.
And listen, I will leave you to it then.
Sounds like a lot of work. I'm probably not going to do it if we're just being honest. Let's just call it what it is. We both know.
I didn't think you would.
No, I'm not going to do that. So, have you checked out the NBA power rankings?
Man, this is the first time I've ever looked at the NBA power rankings this late in the season, probably since the AI era. So, I was
early 2000s.
Yeah, 13, 14 years old. And so roughly 20 years ago, and they are ranked number one. So what do you think, man?
I am I'm a little surprised only because the national media usually hates Philadelphia.
Yes.
I'm not surprised because I think they deserve to be number one, but I'm surprised that so does the national media.
What's funny is, so I listen to Dunked On, which is an NBA show. Fantastic, and they are not huge on the Sixers even still, although they've come up on them. So when you said check out the power rankings today or earlier today, I was like, oh, okay, Sixers will be top 5, and then I saw they were 1, and I was surprised because I had just gotten done listening to them talk about why Embiid was not their MVP pick.
So it's interesting you mentioned the MVP thing because, number one, I do think he's the NBA MVP. However, I don't think he's going to win it because I personally have a hard time voting for someone who is going to miss probably like 15 and 20 games. Like right now, I believe he's at the double-digit mark for games missed. And he's going to miss at least the next 3 games, maybe the next 4 games. I think he's actually going to miss maybe
6 or 7 at least.
I'd say I have him coming back April 14th. So I'm going to say he was good. I thought he was going to miss 15 games because of the ankle injury.
Yeah.
Or the knee, I should say the knee injury. And then you got to assume that across the rest of the season he might miss another 1 or 2 games off of back-to-backs.
Right.
Now, like I said, I have a hard time voting for that. Doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter that he's plays for my favorite team. I have a hard time voting for that. So for that reason, I cannot say he's the MVP. But if we're just talking as far as play goes, I do think he's the MVP. And as the season goes later and later, I really think the only person that has a case is James Harden. And I really don't believe that James Harden is going to get that for 2 reasons. Number one, he was traded mid-season. Shouldn't really say mid-season, traded early season. But he did play games for another team this year. So that's number one. Number two, I mean, you have Kyrie and Kevin Durant on your team. It's going to be really hard to say, oh, the MVP is also on that team when you're surrounded by that level of star power on your squad. Similarly to, now Steph out in Golden State was just unreal. So that's how he got his MVPs. Though, in fairness, I think he should have only won one of them, not 2. But I just can't see James Harden getting it because he didn't. He started out in the Western Conference, so I just don't see it. But those are the 2 guys. I did think it was LeBron's award to lose after Embiid got hurt, but now that LeBron is hurt as well, it reopens the question: who should be the MVP with the 2 top guys essentially taking themselves out of the equation. I'm not going to go as far as to say this is an illegitimate MVP, but I don't think that the true MVP or even the true runner-up is going to win it. I think at best the number 3 guy might win it this year, just based upon the top guys being injured.
Yeah, it's a weird year for this type of award because Embiid, I think the Dunk Dun guy said he's played 1,071 minutes, give or take, this year.
Sounds about right.
And so, looking at other, big guys, what's his name? Jokic out in Denver has played 1,500-ish.
Oh, he
minutes.
plays every game.
So if you're basing MVP as most valuable to the team and most, like you said, when you're playing 40%-ish less minutes than another guy, that you should probably get knocked down a peg, even though Jokic's defense is nowhere near as good as Embiid's, but his offense is pretty close. But I don't know. I don't
see. Also,
I'm not going to guess on an NBA MVP yet because there's so many moving parts right now.
Also, though, one thing about Embiid is that there's been a couple games where the Sixers have had such big leads where he just didn't play the fourth quarter. And that's always the goal. The goal is that you do not want your big-name guys to play the fourth quarter if they don't have to. The year that the Golden State Warriors went bananas and won 73 games, I think it was 2014, 2015, I think. 15-16, the year before KD got there. I mean, Steph, there was, I want to say, like 23 games that Steph Curry didn't play the fourth quarter because he didn't have to. They had such a big lead.
Yeah.
So, and I can think of at least 3 to 5 games this year that Embiid has had that luxury of not having to play the fourth quarter. So, I understand everything you're saying about minutes, though when your team is as good as the Sixers are, that's going to skew it a little bit. Because I only know a lot about the Nuggets because I bet on the Nuggets a lot. And yeah, I do bet on the Nuggets a lot. They're good money makers. The Nuggets are a good money maker team on FanDuel. If you're interested in some NBA bets, Nuggets are a team that you can make some money off of. And I can only recall 1 or 2 games that they had a big enough lead to where he didn't play in the fourth quarter, or he didn't have to, but he still did play. So I could get, like, again, I understand everything that you said, and it's all perfect logic, but in this exact comparison, it's skewed a little bit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So maybe instead of saying, "Oh, he's played 40% more minute," we take out.
Like, I'd say, yeah,
20% more.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd say when it comes to garbage time, Joker definitely plays more garbage time than Embiid does.
Yeah,
he definitely does, and and not there's anything wrong. Like, that's what his team decides to do. You know what I mean? Joker's a very big facilitator for them. He facilitates the entire offense for them. And B's not necessarily standing at the top of the key, barking out plays and whatnot.
Right.
He is averaging, Joker's averaging an extra 3 minutes per game, but Embiid is averaging an extra 3 points per game.
Yeah, he's so good at drawing those fouls that makes sense to me.
Big problem with that. So we were saying, the Sixers are number 1. It's the power rankings. Last week they were number 4. So they're up 3 spots, and they have the second best record in the NBA and have the top record in the East after winning against the Knicks on Sunday. Second is the Jazz, best record in the NBA. They are definitely cold right now, to say the least.
Yeah, they didn't have a good week last week.
No. I mean, they started off 24-5. Now they're 6-6. Or I should say, they started off 24-5, and in their last 12, they're 6-6.
Yeah.
So, not good. I never believed in Utah. I said that they're a good team, but they're not a great team. I never believed in them. I thought that the Sixers punked them like the frauds that the Jazz team is right now. I thought that LeBron and Kevin Durant punked them with what they did at the All-Star game. And I feel like the Jazz are just going to continuously get punked just because that's what happens to them.
I 100% agree. You know what? I feel like I would move Brooklyn above Utah and slot in Utah in 3.
That's fair. Brooklyn's coming in 3. Previously were 2. So therefore they both slide down, and the Sixers basically move up to the first place. I'm not going to disagree with you. I just am not sure. Who? Let me see who put this article together. This was who was it? It was a couple different writers. It looks like put this together.
It's like a panel.
Yeah, it was a panel. Okay, no problem. Maybe they didn't want to put the top 2 teams from the same conference, so just for political reasons, they made the Utah Jazz the number 2. But I would venture to say you're probably accurate that the Sixers and the Nets are the top 2 teams and should be ranked 1 and 2. So as we said, Brooklyn's number 3. Blake Griffin's in town now. Don't know if that's even going to matter whatsoever for them. I think that he doesn't quite fit with them. I actually wanted Blake Griffin to come to the Sixers. I thought he was a better fit here. I don't think he's going to be able to run and gun with the Nets like they prefer to do.
Yeah, he seems, not that I'm obviously a basketball expert here, but I felt like the Nets needed a defensive stalwart, not a guy who's if
this is Blake Griffin 5 years ago, the Nets need to be favored to win the title. But it's not. This is not 2013 Blake Griffin. This is 2021 Blake Griffin. So exactly what you said. He's going to be their number 5 in a small ball lineup. it's just it's an odd fit. I actually would have wanted him. Like I said, I definitely wanted him on the Sixers. I think he also would have looked good on the Lakers as well.
All right, that's fair.
Number 4, Phoenix Suns. Straight up, I don't believe in them.
Yeah, listen, I get why they're there because they're blowing everybody's expectations out of the water, but man.
No. Just no. I mean, I don't really have much else to say other than no. Like they have a good record. I believe they're the number 2 seed in the West.
Yeah.
But I no. Just like they're not ready. Like they're not gonna. There's at least, Jazz will beat them in a 7-game series. Lakers and Clippers will beat them in a 7-game series. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets beat them in a 7-game series, and I would say Portland might as well with C.J. McCollum back for the Trailblazers. So I see at best the Suns, while they may not have the 6th best record, I see them as at no better than the 6th best team in that conference.
I was gonna say 5th, but that's essentially we're splitting hairs at that point, so that's fair.
Yeah, Milwaukee number 7. I feel a lot about Milwaukee how I feel about the Jazz. Fraudulent.
You said Milwaukee at 7. They're at 5.
Yeah. Their previous ranking was 7.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. All right, I'm gonna spit out my first real hot take here, probably in our episodes. And again, for those wondering, I am not even remotely a basketball expert. I'm not even a kind of expert, but Giannis is a beast. I don't think Giannis can hold a candle to LeBron or any of the long-term stars when it comes to winning a team a championship.
All right, so that's actually not a hot take. You are falling in line with exactly what we've been saying on this show for weeks.
Okay.
Giannis is a super athlete. He is not a great basketball player.
Yeah.
I understand he's got back-to-back MVPs. Wonderful. So does Steve Nash. I would not take Steve Nash over a lot of guys on this team in this league right now. So I don't see it. They're going to fold like they do every year. The Milwaukee Bucks are fraudulent. They are not to the level of the Sixers. They are not to the level of Brooklyn. I would take both of those teams over Milwaukee Bucks in a 7-game series. Hell, I would take both of those teams over Milwaukee Bucks in a 5-game series.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
On top of that, when they go head-to-head, Embiid eats Giannis up.
This is accurate. I'm in agreement there.
Eats him up. So I'm not seeing it with Milwaukee. Their window, if they even had a window, that's closed now. I'm not. I'm out on them. I'm selling. Another team I'm selling on is the Clippers. LA Clippers. They were 6th last week. They're 6th again this week. Something's not right there. I don't know what it is. Kawhi's there. Paul George is there. They have a very good bench. They have a above-average coach. They have a above-average front office. And they have one of the best owners in the league. I don't know what it is. Something's just not right with this team. And, I mean, yeah, Kawhi missed a couple games with an injury. Yeah, Paul George missed a couple games with an injury. But when they're both there, it's still, how, you might not understand a sport, but you can watch it and know that, this isn't it. I don't know what it is, but this isn't it. I don't understand hockey that well. I'm not the best at breaking down hockey. But I can look at it and be like, this is bad hockey. This is good hockey. These players fit. These players don't fit. And the Clippers have they have 2 elite players, and then they have a bunch of above-average players. But for some reason, the pieces to the puzzle don't fit together. And I don't quite understand why, but it just is what it is.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing on this one because I don't know enough about the Clippers to give an honest opinion other than it looks like they've got a bunch of guys injured right now. So
Yeah, they're definitely beat up. They're definitely nicked up. But still, like they're a deep team that there should not be too much drop off from their bench to their starters. And I don't know. Like I said, there's just something. It's just this team doesn't make sense to me, and I don't understand why. Like they should be better than they are. It reminds me very much of that Phillies run in the late 2000s. They should have won more than one World Series. Why didn't they? It didn't make sense how for 5 years they were the best team, but they only had one championship. That doesn't make sense to me. So that's how I feel about the Clippers. They, on paper, they're a top 3 team. How can they not? They're ranked 6th. I don't even know if I'd put them in the top 10 right now, personally.
Oh, I'll give them top 10 just because
if they are, they're on the back end. Like
yeah.
the Lakers are ranked 7 right now. I'm putting the Lakers over the Clippers. The only reason they're ranked 7th right now is because AD and LeBron are both out.
Right. And like looking down, a couple down more, like I'm definitely still putting them above the Mavericks. Above the Heat as much as I'm a Tyler Hero fan, he has not shot well lately. Definitely above the Spurs.
Yeah, no. So I'd say they belong more in the 9 or 10 range.
I'm gonna say 8 just to spite you.
That's fine.
And that's only to disagree, but yeah,
that's fine.
Same. We're just splitting hairs about one or two spots in the grand scheme of things.
I'll say 9. I will give you that. I want Dallas to be above them, and Dallas has beaten them head to head this year, but I don't think Dallas has enough to, in a 7-game series, beat the Clippers.
Definitely
not. So I'll give them 9. You're giving them 8. I'll give them 9. So we said Lakers at 7. They have LeBron James, which means that it does not matter what seeding you have in the playoffs. Just make it to the playoffs. If the Lakers are in the playoffs, they will make it to the Western Conference Finals. Because LeBron doesn't matter if he's at home, if he's on the road, if he's playing you on Mars, if he's playing you with Toon Squad, he will play you at the bottom of the ocean. It does not matter where you play LeBron. It's irrelevant. The Lakers do not need home court advantage. Is it nice? Oh, it's absolutely nice. But that is the one team that I don't think home court matters at all. Give them the 8th seed, and I bet you they still can make it to the Western Conference Finals.
I agree.
Nuggets are 8. Nuggets a good team, not a great team. I like Joker. Yeah. They're slotted in 8. I can't disagree with that. I like Joker. I like. Can't remember. For some reason, his first name's slipping my mind right now, but Murray. Can't think of his first name. I don't know why I can't think of his first name right now. Jamal Murray. That's it. I like him. I really like Michael Porter Jr. I'm a big fan of Michael Porter Jr.
He can stay healthy, yeah.
Yeah. I like Denver. Good team, not a great team. Portland, number 9. Again, good team, not a great team, though they terrify me head-to-head with the Sixers. Just because, like I said yesterday, matchups. Matchups are key, and the Trailblazers are a bad matchup for the Sixers.
Agreed.
And then rounding out the top 10 is the Dallas Mavericks. Luka is Marcus's favorite non-Sixers player. Over and over, he's Team Luka. I'm Team Klay Thompson, but they just don't have enough either. I'd say there's a distinctive drop-off from the Sixers, from the Nets, from the Jazz. Those three teams are in a class of their own. I understand that they're going to fall down this because of their record, but when you have LeBron James, you are at worst fourth. So even though I know the Lakers are seventh, they are a top 3 to 4 team to me. Just because out there, LeBron, AD, you know what you're going to get. There's so few players that could not practice and go out there and play a game. Shout out Iverson. But I'm sure that LeBron doesn't need to practice to go out and dominate. Anthony Davis doesn't need to practice to go out there and dominate.
Accurate.
So, the Lakers are the definition of anytime, anywhere, any place, whoever. Let's go. And with that, I think that deserves the 4th seed. Or should I say the 4th spot on the power ranking list. But the Sixers, the Jazz, and the Nets are starting to separate themselves as far as quality of team that they are.
I agree.
So that is the NBA's latest power ranking. Mike, you got any final thoughts on it?
Final thoughts. Let's see here.
Anything that's jumping out at you, maybe further down the list?
So I still can't believe we're seeing this, but the New York Knicks are 21-22 and ranked 16th after being ranked 15th last week. And the fact that I believe the Knicks deserve that ranking is still mind-blowing to me.
Who's last?
Last would be the Houston Rockets, who have not won a game in about 6 years. So
Yeah, no, I think they've lost 20 in a row.
20 in a row, yeah. Holy hell.
The Knicks are interesting. Knicks are going to nick, though, if you ask me personally. So
I'm sure. Listen, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly. Knicks are going to nick, so I'm not too worried about them. It's funny Houston's dead last. I feel really bad for that coach. Salas, I think his name is.
Yeah, Steven Salas.
Yes, I feel bad for him because he was put in a no-win position, and he's going to catch a ton of flack and a ton of blame for what's going on in Houston, and he doesn't deserve any of it. So hopefully Tillman, Fertitta, and the Fertitta family don't have a quick trigger on firing this guy because he does not deserve to be fired. It is not his fault what's going on with Houston.
I don't think they will. Then again, what do I know?
Yeah, I mean the Fertitta family is they're a wild group. Not to mention he's probably the cheapest NBA owner.
I'm going to take your word for that one since I have no idea, but considering where they are and they've lost 20 games in a row and they've got draft capital, so they've got one thing going for them.
Well, I believe he was hit, and I mean the owner of the Rockets was hit particularly hard financially from the pandemic because obviously he couldn't have fans in the stands for Houston with the Rockets games, so he lost that. But he made all of his money. I should say all of his money. What he is, his company owns a ton of restaurants, high-end restaurants, high-end steakhouses. Also, he owns the Golden Nugget casinos. So, when casinos close down, when restaurants and bars close down, all of his businesses shuttered. And he couldn't have fans in the stands at Rockets games. So he was hit particularly hard from a financial standpoint in comparison to some of the other owners around the league because of the industries that got him to where he is. I mean, there was a lot of talk that during the pandemic in the bubble, they were going to just release James Harden because he didn't want to be on the hook for all that money.
Right.
And he was losing money everywhere. I mean, I think they closed the Golden Nugget Casino in Vegas down for something like, I want to say it was 108 days or something.
Yeah.
when he has high-end steakhouses all across the country closed. He lost a lot of money. Now I don't necessarily say to feel bad because he lives in Vegas, and there are a lot of things in that city that are named after him and his family. So he's doing okay. Don't feel bad for him. But as far as a change in status, he definitely lost a couple of pretty pennies because of the pandemic, no doubt about it.
I dig it.
So, well, we're going to hit a quick commercial break. On the other side, we got our guy Twitty from the Twitty and the Brand podcast jumping on to deliver us a conspiracy theory. Catch us on the other side. Brandon Emery in the morning, Justin Emery, Mike Jokum filling in as guest host. We will be right back.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yeah, man, and we back. Brandon Emery in the morning. I'm your host, Justin Emery, and it's Tuesday. That means I got to get my guy on the show. Tuesdays with Twitty. My guy Twitty from Twitty and the Brand. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
What up? What up? Just living the dream, a few days away from that second vaccine shot.
Oh, I'm very jealous. One of my buddies just got his first shot today, and I'm very jealous of all you guys. Soon, very soon. I will be there. I anticipate to get my first one within the next, 2 to 3 weeks maybe.
It's a trade-off, man. For that shot, I had to transition to a 9-to-5 life for 8 years, so it's a real trade-off.
Yeah, I sign me up. I'm willing to take it. So what you been watching on the stream? What you been binging? Anything good?
Well, there's some pretty big, well-publicized selects this week. First off, you got Marvel bringing another show in already, and that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was originally supposed to be the first show, but that one had some pretty lengthy COVID-related production delays.
Okay.
A lot of setup, and the internet is very upset that someone else came out in a new Captain America costume this week.
Oh, okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, so they're setting up this character that in the comics he's called U.S. Agent, and he's basically just a great value brand Captain America, but like in a lot of stories he's a little bit insane and goes a half a step too far. He's got the Glock strapped to the hip. I don't think he's going to last too long in this show, though.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
He's pretty much just there to get in the Falcon's way before he ends up with the Captain America suit towards the end of the show.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
So very typical Marvel fare.
I'm guessing you're grooving on it?
Well, yeah, only one episode so far.
Oh,
very
just one episode? Okay, gotcha.
But I'm happy with what I have seen as of yet.
Gotcha.
Early.
Very nice, very nice. I told you I'd been getting Black in the Blacklist. Now that's out.
Yeah, now that
However,
there's real episodes.
However, for some reason, so they released the first 3, and then they took that huge break. But the thing is that for some reason, episode 4 is not on demand. On demand doesn't start till 5. It goes 1, 2, 3, 5, and they replayed episode 4 the other day, but I only caught like the last 10 minutes of it. So I'm really hesitant about diving too far into it without missing that, because apparently that's a very pivotal episode.
That's tough because I feel that's happened to me with other network shows in recent memory, and a lot of times I end up going, I'll wait for the whole season to hit something in a couple months, and then half the time it doesn't in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, well, I went back and read the synopsis of it so I could understand what was going on and I could continue with the show. But after reading it, I was like, this is something I really should probably watch.
Yeah, because the same thing happens to me with all the CW DC comic shows every year. Like, I try to start watching them when there's like 7 of each out for the season. And then like the first 3 are available on demand and the last 2 are. And they're like, those middle 2, $2.99, dog. And I don't remember to DVR things like ever.
I don't know if I've ever remembered to DVR anything.
I barely remember I have the cable half the time.
Yes, exactly. You don't even know you have the ability. Now, luckily,
every now and then I see the little red DVR light pop up on my cable box, and I'm like, what am I recording right now? And I never check.
Yes. Now, in fairness, when you have like Hulu and all that, you basically can go back and watch it all anyway.
It's all already recorded.
But, wanted to pose a hypothetical past you in regards to something we talked about on the show yesterday.
All right.
We did hypothetical sports matchups that could never happen, and we just kind of ran through a couple of them. But the one that really stuck out in the entire conversation was a particular NFL one, and I wanted to get your take on it.
I'm intrigued. 2000
Ravens versus 2007 Patriots.
Ooh.
Now, my guess, or I should say my projection for the game is that the Patriots would win because of the disparity between the Patriots defense and that Ravens offense. But as far as a heavyweight battle, head-to-head matchup,
there's going to be injuries in that game, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you got Brady and his best squad against Ray Lewis and his best squad.
Yeah, people are coming off of that field on boards. I think the Patriots win a close one, honestly.
Yes. And another one that we came up with was the 2013 Broncos versus the 2015 Broncos.
Wait, so is 13 Tebow playoff?
No, that's Manning's first season. The 55 touchdown season.
All right, so it's Manning's warming up season versus the season where Manning was actually low key kind of trash, but they won it all.
Yes, it's
I
Manning.
Think the 2013 team wins, honestly.
It's Manning's record-setting offense versus the record-setting defense that got him a second ring.
I'm inclined to think the Peyton Manning with an ounce of ability still left in his body takes that one down.
I mean, it's definitely something to think about. I just can see Von Miller wrecking the game.
Yeah, but Von Miller is also wrecking.
Oh, he's wrecking both games. He's wrecking Von Miller's definitely winning the MVP of that game. I can promise you that.
Von Miller is a lock for MVP of that matchup. He's going to be a problem every moment that's not commercials if that's the Super Bowl.
Oh, no doubt about it. So, it's Tuesday. We got to break out the tinfoil hats. Everybody knows what time it is.
Crinkle, crinkle.
Twitty, my friend, what have you got for us?
All right, so we're taking this way, way back, almost 2,000 years ago. You may have heard the expression, as Rome burned, Nero played the fiddle. It's often used to describe politicians just living a life of excess and just having the best time while civilization collapses around them. What today's theory wants to ask, though, is, did Nero set the fire to Rome? Nero took control in Rome at around the year 54 when he was 17. A lot of his early days are filled with massive construction projects that Rome really couldn't afford at the time. Looking back, his critics just get worse and worse year over year, getting upset talking about how much money he's spending. But his commitment to the Roman Senate kind of kept him out of any severe trouble throughout his reign. The night in question, the burning of Rome, Nero has quote unquote an alibi, as he was down the road in Antioch at the time. But the expression goes that he was playing his fiddle as the city burned. A couple issues here. The fiddle won't be invented for 1400 years. But if you look back at the actual historical account, 2 out of 3 of the major historians of the time claim that he was giving a play-like performance in full costume at the time of the burning. However, all of these accounts admit that he, as soon as he heard about the burning, returned to Rome to lead a first aid coalition effort. Looking at one historian in particular, they look back at his time as the Roman emperor not as luxurious infrastructure projects, purely for his greatness, but more as public works projects meant to give people jobs and pull them out of a depression. So looking back, you have 2 unique views on Nero's time in Rome. One, a life of lavish elegance, where he just had to keep money coming in at all expenses, to the point where he'd consider burning his own city down for the good press that comes afterwards. And on the other, you have a guy who really was trying to help out and rebuild the empire at a rough time. And then when another tragedy befell, he still returned and led relief efforts to try and once again bring his city back on top. Looking back, I feel like the true answer is probably it's a little bit of both, but it sounds pretty similar to modern politics. And that's my Nero story.
I believe anything I hear about the ancient Roman emperors.
I love Rome stories, man. They just got so much. There's so many stories.
I'm all in. Hey, diddle diddle, Nero's playing the fiddle. Now, I don't know anything about Nero the Emperor, but I can tell you about Nero's Steakhouse down in Atlantic City. I recommend it.
I don't know if I've ever had like a real dinner in Atlantic City. It's always Hooters or whatever food I can find near me at 3 a.m.
This was years ago. I'm walking across the casino floor, and I actually think I was looking for a bathroom. I don't even think I was looking to gamble or anything. I was looking just wandering, and some woman, you know how they're always trying to give out something, like give you some flyer or promo giveaway or something. So some woman goes to hand me something, and I just kind of brush it off. And she's like, no, take it. And she's very adamant about me taking it. So I just, grab it, put it in my pocket, and I kept walking, whatever. Checking in my pocket, it's 2 free dinner tickets to Nero's Steakhouse.
Heyo.
Apparently she was just leaving AC and didn't want them to go to waste and was like, just take these, and I happened to be walking by.
I feel like you see that pretty regularly in big gambling centers, because there's always random free gifts being given away, and there's always people who end up with 2 similar ones and can't use them both before they have to go home.
So I was working at Silver 7 Casino in Vegas. One of the first events that we were doing for the Raiders right before they came to town. It was a Thursday night football game, I believe, for the Raiders. Well, they were giving away a charcoal grill as a giveaway that day to all sorts of people. The sportsbook manager comes up to us and goes, "Hey, I got some prizes you guys can give away on air if you want." I was like, "I bet, bring it over." My man brings over 25 charcoal grills and just starts lining them up. So I took 3 of them.
Dude, the appliances from casinos is real business. There is a closet in my mother's house that is just full of appliances that have not been used once, and things you can't see yourself needing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I forget the exact term that we used for them at the station. Basically, it's people that would. There was this woman. I'm trying to remember what her name was. I want to say it's Debbie, but I'm not. Betty, maybe. I think her name was maybe Betty. She made an entire business out of winning contests on our stations and flipping it. Like, she was earning a living doing that. She was, because what she would do is she had her whole, check this out, she had a whole infrastructure, bro. Okay? She would have maybe 8 to 10 people in her little clique. And they would all listen to different stations, because our company alone had 8 stations. And in Vegas, really, 3 companies own like 95% of the stations.
Right.
So they would have people listen to different stations, different times, entering different contests. And they would have enough people entering to up their chances to win stuff. And she would then, if it was something that one of them actually wanted and would use, they would keep it. Otherwise, they would flip it. They would all sign up for all the free giveaways at the casinos and flip. Like, she won cars and flipped cars. She won like free stays at, I don't know, Westgate, wherever. She just flipped it. Boom. And
Where's the HBO Max documentary about this woman?
Yeah, it was crazy. Apparently she's been doing it for like 20 years.
Like, this sounds way better than McMillions.
Oh, it's something else. And then what she did. Oh, so there was this guy. I think his name was Mark. This dude. Oh, I don't like that. Annoys me, but at the end of the day, I kind of don't care a little bit. At the end of the day,
Right,
like,
it's not coming out of your pocket.
Exactly. Like, it's annoying that the same people always win, but I also kind of don't care though, because it's not my stuff. Now sometimes, like, obviously, what the story I'm about to tell is what annoyed me a little bit. What I'm about to get into, but like, for the most part, I don't care. Well, this guy, it was the night before Thanksgiving, so it was that Wednesday night. And we were doing a giveaway for, I think it was like a 75-inch flat screen TV that we've been collecting entries for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it was like the biggest giveaway that I had seen to that point in time. Well, I kid you not, that dude Mark somehow won. And when I pulled his name out of the raffle thing, and I literally looked at it and read it and just held it for a second, and I thought about putting it back in. I thought about it.
Just like look at it, make up a generic sounding name, and hope it is somebody.
Yeah. So he picks it up. So I call his name. He comes up, and he always says the same dumb thing every time. Oh, I won! Can't believe it! I don't even need this. So he comes up. He's like,
"That's the first rule of scams. You got to stick to the script."
Yeah. So he comes up. He's like, oh, "I already got like 4 TVs. What do I need another one for?" And I was just like, "Dude, just take your TV and just go somewhere else." So that's so no. The story gets better. So like I said, that's the day before Thanksgiving. Fast forward to Cyber Monday. Okay. I'm doing an event at a car dealership. I want to say I was at a Subaru dealership, but don't quote me on that. I forget exactly what dealership I was at, but I'm at a dealership, and it's Cyber Monday, and it's like 9:00 in the morning, and I'm sitting here like, man, I can't believe that the company's paying us to come out to a car dealership on Cyber Monday at 9 a.m. They're going to pay us to do nothing. We're not going to encounter a single person. Twitty, we had the best prizes I ever had in my life at this event. Like, I personally took a $100 gift card to a restaurant from there because no one came. Like,
Right.
I had Amazon gift cards. I had a huge plaque autographed by every player on the Golden Knights. I had pucks, Bob, bro, I had everything. Only one person showed up. Can you guess who it was?
I'm gonna take a wild stab here and assume it was Mark.
It was Homeboy shows up. Looking disheveled. Dude's looking disheveled when he comes up.
It's like he had to come cop a quick bobblehead to sell for
Yeah.
crack.
So he comes up, and the guy that was there with me. Now, like I said, I really don't these people don't bother me. Like, this guy's gonna go and live whatever miserable life he's gonna live when he leaves me. Like, it doesn't bother me. But the dude that I was with, Ken, bro, Ken does not like this guy. Hasn't liked him for a long time. So he comes up. Ken's like, all right, blah blah blah. Like, we got nights. Like, we got so much good stuff. So he's obviously standing there looking for, like, yo, what can I get my hands on? Ken gives him something mean, like a freaking T-shirt or something. He's like, yo, I got, boom. He's like, this is it. Ken's like, this is it. So he's like, if you go for a test ride, we'll put you in the raffle for something else. Go take a test ride of a car, and we'll put you in a legitimate raffle. He's like, fine, whatever, blah blah, and go. So obviously, salesman comes out. Now he's stuck with him. Salesman's taking over. You're trapped. So maybe like 15 minutes later, this like older woman comes up. You can tell that, like, when she was younger, she was probably attractive, but she's like way over the hill now. She wanders up, and she starts telling me this story about how she's this like great country singer, because for some reason I'm the person you want to explain country music to. You know, that's exactly what's going to get you places. So she's telling me the story, and then I realize I think she's hammered. I'm pretty sure she's drunk. So she's telling me something about how she used to go on tour with, like, the Dixie Chicks, and not really making a lot of sense. Then I realized she came with Homeboy. And she got tired of waiting in the car for him because he got stuck doing a test drive.
So you pulled this woman out of hibernation, basically.
Yeah. So now she's trying to, like, get all sorts of prizes and stuff. And I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, this is not my problem. Like, Ken, deal with this. Like, you're the like, I'm just gonna let this happen. So Ken, if you want to stop this, like, you should stop this. So he calls her out, and he's like, "Is that your boyfriend?" Dude, she starts changing her story and everything. So Ken turns over and goes, "Hey, do you date a country singer?" And Mark goes, "I hate country music." The whole story starts collapsing. So Ken just snaps, and he says all sorts of things that I can't repeat on this show. And Mark goes, "Well, listen, man, I'm unemployed. I lost my job. I'm just trying to make ends meet, and winning radio prizes helps me with that." And I was like, "Excuse me, allow me to interject for one moment. I feel bad for your situation, and I'm sorry that happened. But if you're using free radio giveaways as your source of income, you have bigger problems than just unemployment." And then, like I said, I gave him a T-shirt, and he walked away, and I took home a whole bunch of great Golden Knight stuff.
Do you still have that, you non-hockey appreciating person?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure where it is, but I do have it. I did not get rid of it because I decided that I was going to play the game. And what I did is I got all this Golden Knights memorabilia, and then when we do player appearances, I literally get to sit next to the players. So I have so much autographed Golden Knights gear from doing these events. I have pucks on pucks on pucks of me having video of these guys signing it. So maybe I'll do a giveaway on the show sometime and give away some Golden Knights gear because I have a ton of it. when I was moving my new sofa, I don't feel like lugging these sofas up to the second floor, and all of the maintenance guys were huge Golden Knights fans. So I laid out a bunch of stuff, and I told each of them they could take 2 pieces. And they carried my sofas upstairs for me, the maintenance guys.
You know, you just put a wild thought in my head. If not for COVID, realistically, there's a parallel universe out there where you met Nelson Aguilar at some point, and it did not go well.
That is extremely accurate.
And then you ended up back in Philly afterwards.
That is extremely scary to think about, and I now need to ponder that. Oh yeah,
dude. To be a fly on the wall in that room.
That would have been terrible for all parties involved. No one would come out a winner of that conversation.
Innocent bystanders would have come out of that losers.
Yes. It's like the time. So I worked like a 13-day in a row schedule one time, and so I'm going to give away the story when I tell this, but one of my lifelong goals is I want to meet Shaq. Guess who visits in studio on day 14?
Shaq in the house?
Shaq's in the house. He was promoting the new restaurant he was opening downtown.
It sounds to me like you just weren't meant to meet Shaq. I don't know.
Yo, how about this? He was at Parks Casino unveiling his new slot machine, and I overslept the grand opening.
See, now that one's 100% your fault.
Oh, totally. But I've had 2 chances to meet Shaq, and apparently, about a week before I started working there, he was in studio.
Wow.
Because, like I said,
I was going to say third time's the charm, but you've ruined that now.
Yeah, no. This would be if the opportunity arose. This would be my 4th attempt at trying to meet Shaq. It will happen.
You're about as good at meeting Shaq as Shaq is at making free throws.
Yeah, we're both shooting 0%. We both shooting 0%. But what you got on the podcast this week?
So the bulk of the show will be talking about the Richard Linklater classic, Dazed and Confused. So I'm really looking forward to that discussion.
Very nice.
However, a significant chunk of the show, I think, is going to be taken up by the discussion of the Snyder Cut.
I have no idea what that is, but okay.
So that's I referenced DC earlier, but I kept it waiting for this moment to bring up. But so basically, what's it? 2 years ago, Zack Snyder's daughter passed away while they were making Justice League. They hired Joss Whedon to finish the movie, and he released 2 hours of absolute nonsense. It's one of the worst things I've ever watched in my life. After 2 years of fans just harassing Warner Brothers on the internet, they gave Zack Snyder $70 million to finish the movie. And what he ended up releasing is a 4-hour, 2-minute mega movie that is, while not like groundbreaking or amazing, it's a good movie. And
better than the other one.
The other one's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like it's crazy bad. Nothing makes sense.
Is it weird seeing like the same? Like, I'm assuming they had to use the same footage, correct?
Well, so they did do a little bit of new shooting when Zach finished it, but for the most part, all the new footage in the new cut was just on the cutting room floor when they finished it the first time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I bet it's weird watching like the same footage in a movie but telling a different story.
Basically, Whedon he looked at 4.5 hours of footage and he picked 2 hours out of it and made that.
Well, goes to show you that Whedon, this ain't it, bruh.
It's a shame because he did make the first Avengers movie and that was great, and he did Age of Ultron and that was not quite as great. And since then, it's just been downhill. But he'll always get to say that he did the Avengers and the Justice League, so that's something.
All right,
He's
man.
been in a little hot water as of late, though.
Gotta get your feathers in your cap where you can get them, right?
Yeah. But supposedly there is an even longer cut out there. So now I want everyone online demanding that they release the Snyder Cut of the Snyder Cut.
Sounds like a Mike's barbecue kind of day beforehand. Settle in with
You won't make it into the second half of the movie. You're gonna be asleep.
Well, no, you gotta get like the home sandwich, the road sandwich. You gotta get it all covered. slide in a couple of hours of the Snyder Cut. So, I'm here for it. I can almost guarantee I'll never watch it, but I'm here for it nonetheless.
It was my main reaction to it because people knew I was gonna watch it immediately. I just kept sending back the GIF of Larry David. Pretty good.
That's funny. Alan finally got around to watching The Mandalorian. He hit me up the other day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, have you ever seen it?" And I was like, "You obviously don't remember our podcast episode conversation, but that's fine." So,
You should have just kept messing with. What's that?
yeah, I was just like, he's like, "It's so good." I'm like, "I know. I've been telling you for 2 years to watch it." So, but let everybody know where to find you at, and let them know when the episode drops.
Be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Ultron1321. Be sure to follow the show at Twitty and Brand on Twitter, at Twitty and the Brand on Instagram. Be sure to like us on Facebook. New episodes every Friday. And don't forget, we're going to ruin something that you love.
Love it. Appreciate you jumping on. And we will talk to you next Tuesday as usual. So thanks to our guy Twitty for joining on the show with us every Tuesday to drop a great conspiracy theory. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And on the other side, Mike and I are going to dive into some of our top things that we want to do post-pandemic. Let's get it. Brad and Emery in the morning. Justin Emery, Mike Jokum filling in on the guest host.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey everybody, I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Yeah, man, and we back. Brad and Emery in the morning. Justin Emery got Mike Jokum hanging out, co-hosting with me today. And pandemic looks like we are rounding the final turn and potentially could be seeing light at the end of the tunnel. Fingers crossed, because I, as someone who doesn't like to leave the house too often, is starting to get the itch that I got to go and do something.
Yeah. So first off, everybody stay safe. Even if you're vaccinated, wear a mask. Keep everybody safe. Trust me on that one. I have some neighbors who down the street who are still dealing with the effects of being sick for like 8 weeks now. And I just
Oh, wow.
I
thought you were going to say they're hosting super spreader events.
I mean, they might be. I don't know. It sounds like their family parties were essentially that sort of thing. So thankfully, I am vaccinated, and I am thankful every morning that I am vaccinated, but I still wear a mask when I go places, and that is my PSA. But yeah. So let's pretend there's like an end date. Like this is, the clock strikes 0. Obviously that's not realistic in this sort of scenario, but what's the first, like if there was one thing that you got to do that was the first thing you're going to do? I know there's other things you'll want to do, but what is the very first thing you're like, you know what, Swoop, you're going in the crate for an hour. I'm going to do.
I kid you not. I've already thought about this. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drive around with all of my windows down, blasting at maximum volume, Future's Mask Off.
I honestly, I'm looking for I was looking for that.
Thank you. Mask Off by Future. I will be blasting it on repeat, just driving around. That is the absolute first thing I'm going to do.
So where's the first place you're going to go? Where are you driving to while you were listening to this?
Honestly, I really want to go to a Sixers game.
Okay. All right.
Like, so I understand, like, since things have started reopening, I've gone out and eaten at a restaurant.
What was it like? I have not done that yet.
I don't know. I've done it like a lot, so I've grown kind of accustomed to it. Obviously not as much as like I normally would,
Sure.
pre-pandemic, but in comparison to, I feel like the normal person, I am doing it more than the normal person. But I don't know. I guess it's a little different. I don't know. I prefer to go to places that aren't too crowded anyway. So I guess personally, I'm not really noticing much of a difference from that. But I personally don't really notice too much of a difference. I'm sure there are differences, and I'm just oblivious to them. But at first glance, I don't really notice anything different. But the one thing that I'm really apprehensive about is going to a sporting event. Now, I'm not big on going to football games. I think it's a much better sport to watch on TV. If I go to a Phillies game, I'm strictly going for the atmosphere. I'm not sitting there watching a 9-hour baseball game. And I'm not really a hockey fan, but I do enjoy going down to the rink. In person, hockey games are a good time. But my favorite sport to attend in person is basketball, and I haven't been to a Sixers game in like 5 years. From living all over the place, I haven't been to a Sixers game in so long. So that is one thing that I absolutely will not do until like I'm fully vaccinated and like everything seems to really be in the clear for the most part. So I guess that's the biggest thing that I absolutely will not do until then, is I will not go to a Sixers game, and I'm really, really dying to attend one. Especially now that they are, I mean, as of right now, they're the number one team in the league, according to ESPN. So that is probably the absolute one, like, top of thing. Like I said, I've been to restaurants, like I've gone out and stuff since all of this happened. Yeah, it'll be nice to go to all those things without having to wear a mask. But I guess the one thing that I truly have prevented myself from doing is going to a sporting event, specifically a basketball game.
Agreed. So on your point about kind of holding off and going, as big of a hockey fan as I am, not quite ready to be indoors in a rink just yet. Maybe when the 2021-2022 season rolls around, I might feel differently. I do like going to baseball games for the atmosphere just because it's outside. It's relatively peaceful, especially if it's a nice sunny day. Have a beer, sit there, relax, talk to whoever maybe I go with my wife or friends or whatever, just have a nice time. I love sitting there for a couple hours watching a baseball game, especially because it's outside. But if I'm going to pick one thing, I'm going to take a little more simple. It's go to one of the 2 or 3 local breweries up here in Lansdale that we really like. Sit outside with, usually they always have, a local food truck, and just kind of kick back and just watch whatever game is on TV. Just something like very simple like that.
Right. I mean, I haven't been to any breweries since then. Since all of this. Actually, that's not true. I've been to breweries in Vegas over the summer. But also, in fairness, when it's about 125 degrees, you are out of your mind for being the person that goes outside. So, I remember, there was this one brewery, what's it called? Scenic something Brewing. Forget what it was. I went in there at their happy hour at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was the only customer in there. I was the only one in there, and I was like, "This is because I was the idiot that came outside when it was 125 degrees. Like, that's why I'm the only person here."
Yeah.
And if you're ever in Vegas, I highly suggest going and check it out. Scenic something Brewing. Just Google it; it'll pop up. I definitely recommend go check it out. Don't know where it is, but I know it's in the parking lot of the grocery store. But
we did the outdoor brewery experience once. God, was it in the fall last year? Late summer, early fall? I don't even remember anymore. Every day feels the same, but nonetheless,
welcome to my life.
It was fine. We happened to be at a table maybe 6 or 7 feet away from people we went to college with, so you feel a little more comfortable when you know the people who also happen to be next to you. It's a little weird walking through like tiny hallways to like get back out, because you're like, do I go? Do I wait? Like, do I have to look around the corner? But it was, I think that was the only time we've done something like that, other than when I traveled for a couple IndyCar races last year, which was super weird.
Yeah, I really want to get back to hitting buffets again. I'm a big buffet person.
Yeah.
And I have been to one buffet since the pandemic started, though it's not your traditional buffet, I guess I should say. It was definitely weird there. The way that they were running it was definitely odd. I mean, it was very efficient and it worked, but I mean, I'm not used to hitting a buffet with gloves on and all of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
yeah.
that's another thing I would love to get back to, feasting on some buffets.
Can I jump in with a sad buffet story? I don't know if sad is the right word, but there was a place.
Don't you slander a Chinese buffet out here?
I'm not slandering it.
Okay.
There's a sushi buffet place that is out this way. It's probably 15 minutes from my house.
You have my attention.
And my boss from my previous job took me there. God, it was probably 4 years ago at this point, 3 years ago at this point. And it was amazing. And it was so good. I took my wife there once, and she took a Friday out from work, probably about 3 or 4 months before COVID. So end of 2019, beginning of 2020.
Sure.
Right before my travel schedule was supposed to amp up for the year. And so we thought, listen, let's go to sushi buffet, nice midday lunch date.
For sure.
Closed down like permanently. And it's still sitting vacant. And we drove by there the other week on the way to my parents' house, I think. I don't remember why we took a different way. Anyway, and I drive by there still, and it's just
oh no,
it's so heartbreaking.
That's terrible. Very unfortunate. Yeah, no, when you find a good sushi buffet, you need to lock that into place. You know what I mean? Like, you cannot let that go. That is very unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear about that place. On the east side of Kansas City, there's a Taco Bell that's a buffet.
Interesting. I can only imagine what that would do to my insides. So
The thing is, every time I'm in Kansas City, I'm literally just passing through Kansas City. So I usually just
I don't know if I've ever even been there.
yeah, every time I've been in Kansas City, I've just been passing through. So I usually just grab some barbecue and then just roll out. If I hit a Taco Bell buffet, I would need a bed. So I have not attended it. I want to say it's at the exit mile 228 on I-70 on the east side of Kansas City. There's more than enough billboards for a Taco Bell buffet, so you will not miss it. Trust me on that. And if you checked it out, please hit my DMs and let me know how it was and if I need to go out there. Because I might need that. I really might need that, Mike.
Listen. You do you. I think I might skip. I might have to skip on that one because I think my stomach hurts just thinking about it. But
That's fair. I hit up Taco Bell the other day. I tried that quesalupa. Weak.
yeah, I'm not surprised. I think I've been to Taco Bell like once in the last like 7 years.
Oh, well. I'm sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, I try to avoid doing the fast food thing as much as possible, and I've gotten a little lazy with that lately. Again, not that I've gone to Taco Bell, but there's a really good Mexican place called Gran Rodeo near the Montgomery Mall, which is super good. I can take it out and bring it home with me, and I don't feel like I want to die after I eat it.
So, on your not eating fast food thing, I did not eat fast food from 2013 to 2019. Didn't
That's
eat
impressive.
any fast food at all. Now, probably like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, I've been slacking on my diet. All year last year was really good, and I've gotten a little lazy lately, and I'm starting to get mad at myself. So I'm going to try to stick to that like I was most of last year.
Yeah, well, you're by Royal Farms, aren't you?
Ironically, so there's a Royal Farms about 3 miles up the road, right off of the 476 exit to Lansdale. So close.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason there was like one like right down the street from you.
Well, I'm getting there. If I open,
Okay.
so my desk is about, or my house is right off of a main road, and I can look out my window right now, and probably less than a quarter mile walk down the road is a Royal Farms. They tore down an abandoned supermarket, built the Royal Farms. It's not open yet. There's nothing. They're still finishing everything up, but it's I'd say probably within the next month or so it'll open. They've got everything ready from the outside at least. So yeah, I walk the dog through the parking lot every evening after dinner just to get a little extended walk and check out what's going on. And it's, I can walk there in less than 4 minutes, less than 5 minutes. So
yeah,
it's,
I'll punish some Royal Farms, man. Oof.
yeah,
I'll punish some Royal Farms.
that's going to require a lot of self-discipline. But then again, if I could go from drinking all the time responsibly to I think I've had like 9 beers total in the past like 6 months.
Oh, nice.
I can keep myself away from Royal Farms too often.
No, that's good. Good for you. Is it weird that I can even tell you the dates that I didn't eat fast food?
No, when it's that long, you
Like
kind of
it was December 1st, 2013 was the last time. Was like I had it that day. I was on my way to the Eagles-Cardinals game. I was so hungover, I ate 5 Egg McMuffins on my way to the game because I was going to die. Then I didn't have it again until February 8th, 2019. And I sucked down 3 cheeseburgers from Checkers.
Dear Lord.
in that amount of time, in between there, I didn't have any no fast food whatsoever. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't go out to eat, of course, but I didn't have any fast food.
Right.
So that's my, and like I said, now it's all that has gone away. Now, except I still don't eat McDonald's because McDonald's garbaggio.
We get Egg McMuffins once in a while. That's the only thing I get from there.
So, do you remember when they used to do the Egg McMuffins? I think it was like 2 for $3.
Yes.
They don't do that anymore. Now they're like $3-4 a piece now, but it used to be 2 for $3. And I used to get off of work at I used to work the overnight shift. So
Yeah.
I'd get off at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I would be driving home, and I would get a bunch of Egg McMuffins. I'd grab 4, 6 of them. Just stuff, they're $3 for 2 of them. I would just get a whole load of them. Go back home, and just when was I? What year was this? It's 2012. So I was fresh out of college, fresh out of school, and so I was living back at home. During the day, my parents would be at work, so I was coming home from work. They were leaving, so I had the house to myself all day long. And from 7 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock in the morning, it was nothing but bong rips and Egg McMuffins. Straight up. Boom. And I was going to sleep at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, waking up, and the sun was down. And I was like, this is a wild lifestyle to live. And then I did it for 2 years. Not the Egg McMuffin part, the working overnight.
I was going to say, but I mean, respect either way.
Yeah, no, the Egg McMuffin, I did that probably I did that maybe once. I did that maybe 2 to 3 times a month.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times a month. It wasn't all the time. Now, there were certain times where I'd have to have Egg McMuffin eating matches with Big Daddy because that's what he wanted to do, and that's what we did. So, there's really not much to it. That's what he wanted to do. That's what we did. Also ate a record amount of tasty cakes in my time there. Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Do you know about the candy cake bars that they have?
Yeah.
So this was right when they first came out, and I had never seen them in store yet. I'm walking down the hallway area into through the green room area into the production room, and in the green room is where they have the entire display. And this thing was always stocked, but there was certain days where it was just more stocked than other days, obviously.
Right.
Well, there was all these things on there I've never seen before. They are the candy cake bars. So I eat one. I'm like, oh my God, this is delicious. I eat a second one. Next thing I know, I've eaten 5 of these things. And I'm just like, I probably shouldn't eat 5 candy cake bars at 3:30 in the morning.
No, that's a horrible idea. I can't wait to hear the rest of this story.
Oh, I ate the whole box and I took a box home with me.
Did you go on the craziest sugar rush ever?
The thing is I was only 22, 23, so it probably didn't really affect me if I'm being honest.
Right. Fair.
Now I would have such severe heartburn I would have to kill somebody. It would be unreal right now. But
I can literally picture myself taking Tums as you tell me this story.
Yeah. So talking about it's funny you mentioned Tums. I had a buddy of mine. He lives on Tums. I mean,
I have a friend like that too.
He lives on Tums so much that I'm convinced that they don't even have an effect anymore. That's how much. And it would be everything. We would sit there and he would we'll just be playing Madden and all of a sudden Tums comes out.
I have a friend, Lindsay. She lives out west now, so I haven't seen her in a couple of years. But we used to go to concerts together and whatnot. She was my concert road trip friend, amongst other people. And we'd get back to a hotel somewhere, and Like we'd all be drunk and split a pizza. And before like Lindsay would have her pizza, she would just like literally just like take a bottle of Tums out of her purse and just like eat it like it was candy.
Yeah. I don't get it, man. Some people are like that, man, and I do not get it.
No.
Before we put a bow on this one, do you have another thing that you're looking forward to post-pandemic on doing that you have? Give me something that you haven't done that you're looking to do.
Oh, going to concerts. Music is for many years. I've been involved in music in some way and doing street team websites for a couple kind of mid-sized rock bands and whatnot. And it was super fun. And then, podcasting took over my life and that changed. But, I would love to just go to a concert again. And it's one of those things that I can go to and just kind of like forget about everything else in the world. And it'd be nice. I watch pretty much every night before I go to bed. I put in headphones and I watch like 15 minutes of stupid TikTok videos. And then I watch like 30 minutes of, concert clips from the past couple years. And I didn't realize I missed going to concerts because I've been so busy with podcast stuff the last handful of years until like I didn't have the option.
Right. Another thing I'm looking forward to is two of my good friends. They both moved to Florida a couple years ago. One of them moved to Florida in, probably like 2013, 2014. And the other one moved down there, a different part of Florida, but they're both in Florida, in 2017 maybe, 2016, 2017. And within the last 6 months, they've both leveled up from their starter homes to their next home. And I've seen some pictures, and I can't wait to come visit. And that is something I'm looking for. I want to go check out my two friends' new places down in Florida.
I dig it.
Especially because one of them has a boat.
Just let me know when you need me to book my flight, and I'll come down with you.
Yeah, we're going. One of them's in Daytona Beach. The other one's in Jacksonville Beach.
Yeah, whatever. Whoever has a boat, just
Daytona Beach.
Yeah, just give me a beer and I can sleep on the floor. I don't care.
Yeah. No, he Daytona Beach. He just moved there from suburban Orlando.
Okay.
And then my other buddy, he stayed in Jacksonville. He just leveled up where he lived at. I mean, his house is way nicer than where he lived before. Like as far as like the actual house itself. He only moved, I think, 2 or 3 miles away. But I'm saying the actual house is a lot nicer. However, his old place, from laying in his bed, looking out his bedroom window, you could see the ocean.
Yeah, I know it's a tough trade-off. Trust me, I've been there.
Now he's only he only moved maybe 2 or 3 miles, so it's not like he can't still get to the beach. Right. But I mean, his house that he bought, he leveled up. So I'm definitely want to go check those two guys out. Haven't seen them. Well, they come back at Christmas time back up to the Philadelphia area because their families are still here. However, due to the pandemic, they never traveled.
Right.
And then the previous Christmas before that, I was in Vegas. So I haven't seen them in like 2 or 3 years. So I definitely would not mind checking that out. But they're wild down in Florida, so I got to be careful.
Yeah. I was in Florida in October for an IndyCar race, and it was
wild. It's wild. Now, granted, both of my friends have received their first doses so far. So, when I go down there, we'll all be vaccinated. But that doesn't mean that Florida's still not wild, bro.
No, Florida will always be Florida.
Yeah, I feel like anytime you see a wild headline in the news,
Florida man, you
already know it. Mike, let them know what's everything, the deal with everything, the show, where to follow you, let them know everything.
Yeah. kind of a cool announcement that we're going to be doing for Formula One races that start. The first one's this Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. I think it's on ESPN. If you have any questions on where to find it, just, again, DM me at Mike_JOAC or at Pit Lane Parlay, PARLEY. We're going to do like a pre-race show on Twitch and YouTube Live, as long as YouTube Live lets me stream again, and kind of like, pre-race coverage, but our own spin on it, maybe 20, 25-minute segments. And that'll be every Formula One race this year, kind of me plus Matt and or rotating hosts if one of us is on vacation or something like that, or mainly Matt's on vacation. And because I'll record one of those things even if I'm at the beach. But nonetheless, we'll be doing some cool things with that, some video content. I'll have some graphics up on screen on what's been going on with F1 throughout the weekend, especially this weekend, since it's a long off season. I'll try to do some graphics on like who's on a new team and whatnot and things like that. So check it out. My Twitch is twitch.tv/mjokumplp, I think is what it is. Just look at my Twitter. It's on there.
Yeah,
just go to my Twitter.
You're an easy guy to find on social media. I'm sure they will not have a problem finding it. As always, follow me at Justin Emery Show. Follow the show Bradham Every Pod everywhere. 10% off your order from Beef Jerky Outlet. Use promo code BREMY. Bradham Emery Show. Go get your merchandise. It is up. Go and check it out. Absolutely grab it. Grab your Twitty gear from there. You can grab your J. Cole gear. Grab your Hockey or Null gear. It is all up there. And until next time, you can be with us. You can be against us. But you're never going to stop us. Late.